Love yourself enough to take that wonderful trip away on your own. Love yourself enough to go to that restaurant, whatever restaurant it is. You don't have to wait till you have a date to go to the Shard. You don't have to wait till you have a date or till you're in a relationship to go to Dubai on your own. It doesn't always have to be with a mandem, with the guys, the fellas. It could also be just you. It could also be just you taking that time away for yourself. You gotta learn to love yourself.
You're listening to Journey to Fatherhood, a podcast that inspires and equips men to becoming more intentional and feeling more supported on the journey to fatherhood. Why wait to become a father before learning how to be a good one? My name is Chinedum Wanaya, a young man also on his journey with a desire to help men become great fathers despite their past personal experiences. I'll be sitting with different guests to bring you great value, sharing their knowledge and their experiences as we all embark on this amazing journey. This podcast, though targeted towards men, ladies, you will also gain great value from the conversations. Now, without further ado, let the journey begin.
Hello and welcome to Journey to Fatherhood podcast. Today, I'm so happy to just talk about the importance of rest. How are you doing? Let me ask you this question. How are you really doing? Because over the last few weeks and months, I've just been feeling, I've been committed to doing so much, and I decided to just take some time to rest. I booked myself a holiday or a getaway trip for 2 nights and 3 days, just away. Right now, I'm speaking to you from Birmingham. Listen, I love the accent, but let's put it away. But the reason I'm saying that is because I feel that for a long time, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really tend to give myself time to rest or take myself on holidays or treat myself enough. Now, I believe that whilst, it's something that's obvious, a lot of times we don't really address it when it comes to men in terms of handling their behaviors. What I mean by that is we've seen and we've heard so many stories of, let's say, fathers that they're frustrated with work. Let's say they had a bad day at work and they come back home and they lash out at their kids. That either shouting at them for one thing or another, little things that don't seem great enough. And the reason I'm saying this is that whilst it may be for me for holiday, because right now I don't have any kids and I'm not lashing out in any way, but I needed this rest. Some may even say, well, you haven't done as much as I have. But the truth is, you should know when you need a rest. Your body knows when you need a rest. So take the rest when you need it. I say this because if you learn to love yourself, if you learn to take care of yourself, you don't wait for a female to come along. You don't wait for a woman to come along to make you feel more validated. My brother, it's okay to love yourself. And I don't mean trying to love yourself by covering up the fact that you're taking care of yourself. And some people try to show that they love themselves by just buying expensive gadgets and things like that. But sometimes it's also covering up things. Maybe what you need is not those new trainers. Maybe what you need is not those new chains to impress other people or to look good outside. Maybe what you need is time away to just stay away from everyone and not even tell them what you're up to. Have you ever thought about that? The reason I say that is because, unfortunately, guys tend to not be able to really take care of themselves. They confuse taking care of themselves with materialistic things. But a lot of times they feel empty because they haven't truly learned how to love themselves. Some guys don't even know that their understanding of love is actually through quality time. But rather, they've been so focused on doing what everyone else does in terms of buying themselves gifts and buying themselves these things, but it doesn't fulfill anything. And they always feel empty. I say this because through this journey of life, it's about making sure that you're prepared for the next. There is this analogy where I believe my pastor always talks about it, but it's an analogy that goes around quite a lot. The soldiers don't prepare their axes, don't prepare their weapons during war. Soldiers don't train during war. They train before the war. They train in preparation for the war. They prepare their axes and their weapons for the war. Because in a time of fighting, that's not when you start preparing. You should be prepared before the war begins. Now, as much as it may seem very extreme, I'm talking about the preparations you have for the life you want. I want to be a husband and a father that is able to manage my emotional state, in the sense that, I'm not saying I'm going to be perfect at it, but I want to be able to adequately say to myself, okay, I'm feeling like this right now. This is what I need to do. This is what works for me. So that I don't lash that out on my kids or my wife. And even in my corporate settings, my business, whatever, emotional intelligence is so important. It doesn't just come from being able to win arguments or being able to reason with people, but also being able to understand yourself. My guy, it's okay to go on a date, take yourself out on a meal. We hear ladies say this, girl, take yourself out on a date and things like that. And when we think about it, many guys don't really say that to themselves, because in their mind, no, I gotta be doing it with a man, them, or I gotta be. Maybe you just need time away for yourself, and to were able to accept that it's okay to travel to Dubai on your own and just be on your own. When we're okay to admit that it's okay to travel, go on a wonderful resort just for yourself as a guy, without feeling that you need to go with a female or a partner, or you need to wait till you get a partner before you do that. When we're able to do that, that's when we start being able to be fulfilled in ourselves, to be whole. Now, without getting too preachy with you, but it says, in terms of coming together, as I aspire to be a loving, strong man of faith and a strong, faith-filled husband and father in the future, it says when two people come together, they become one. It doesn't say when half and half come together to become one. Because unfortunately, a lot of us, and I know I experienced this a lot, where I was feeling incomplete because I don't have a partner. You are not incomplete. You need to be complete, and two complete parts come together to become one. However, I've also found myself in the past and in recent times where I used to feel that, wow, I wish I really had someone in my life. I wish I was married. I wish I had a partner that we could go to these wonderful places together, or we could travel to this place for a day and come back just together to say, feel complete. I need someone to complete me. A guy, if you are not complete when you get into a marriage, you will not be complete, because you'll still be half. She does not complete you. She complements you. And I know it sounds so cute and adorable when people say, oh, you complete me. But let's stop focusing on being completed. Let's focus on being complemented, because no one can really complete you. Because if you're a half, their half will never be the same as your half. No two people are the same. And when we start to reason in that way, we learn to enjoy ourselves and treat ourselves, take care of ourselves, and have times and understand what works for me, what really allows me to function at my highest with care. Or what do I need when I'm feeling down? What do I need when I need a break? As opposed to covering it up and masking it in, it's part of the hustle, fight. Even soldiers need time to rest. Even soldiers need time to rest. They go into the battlefield. Some of them, they have rotas. Watchmen have rotas. You do your time, you come back, rest, and then you go. Where is your resting place? What does it mean for you to rest? For some people, resting may very well be just sleeping all day. For some people, resting may be literally traveling and going to do something charitable. It depends on you knowing yourself. And as men, I believe not enough of us know ourselves well enough, because we don't spend enough time understanding what works for us, understanding who we are or what makes us tick. And this is a big problem, because a lot of men then go into marriages, go into relationships, not even understanding themselves. So all of a sudden they'll be okay one day, and the next day they're acting so different, they're so agitated, and everyone's asking what's going on. But because he doesn't know how to describe what's going on or how to take care of himself, or doesn't understand himself, he lashes out. And you think about it, a lot of kids, when they're frustrated, sometimes they're just frustrated and they don't know how to express it. You think of a toddler, they're just angry, and you ask them, wait, are you hungry? No, it's not hunger. Are you hot? No, it's not heat. You just have to keep tackling. But if the child then starts to grow up and is able to communicate effectively, when they're crying, you ask them what's going on. They could tell you, I'm just sad this happened. Or they could tell you, Mom, I'm hungry, let me have some food. Or they could tell you, well, this and that. They can specify what's going on. But unfortunately, a lot of guys in our society, that we just go through things that we just don't understand why we act certain ways. And unfortunately, a lot of people, and I'm not saying this is for every guy, but a lot of guys out there, both young and old, just don't know what's going on with them. And they don't bother to take time to understand that. Now, whilst for me, it was taking 3 days out to just go and have a little break in Birmingham, it could be different. It could be literally you staying at home. It could be you staying at home and not doing anything, not even talking to any of your friends or not talking to anyone, just being calm in yourself. Because I believe in life, we get so busy that we don't even know what it means to relax. Because we then start to feel guilty in our relaxation, because in our mind, we've been conditioned, work, 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 work. And as guys, I believe that for me, I found that amongst my male friends, there's also this increased pressure of, getting it sorted, getting everything, granted, you need to get your finances intact and every other thing, you've got other commitments. However, a commitment is also to yourself, to take care of yourself. You don't want to be burning out. How many times have you heard fathers or people tell you, let's say parents tell you, the reason why I'm not, everything I'm doing is for your own good. I'm always putting in work, I'm working late shifts and things like that. And growing up for you, you understood that, but you just wanted to spend quality time with them. And we still have it in our generation, years after years after years. And understand it can come from both mothers and fathers, but just talking about the guys right now. Let's not get into this continuous habit where the father's always working, always busy, that when the kids want to spend quality time, he tells them, wait, I'm tired. I haven't got time for this. I just came back from work. Because what happens is that you don't even create opportunities for you to have that bonding time with your kids. And how many times have guys come out to say, no, I don't really have a bonding relationship with my dad because we never really did things together. We never really spent time together. I'm not just saying this for your own sake. I'm saying it because if you learn to understand how to take care of yourself, you won't always be burnt out. You won't be easily burnt out. And you don't get frustrated at the ones that you love because you're doing things that they need. And it's so important that we start to address this. Frustration can come from many things, but a lot of them we can control. How much time you sleep, you can control that. How much time you spend working, having a cut-off, a disciplined time where you tell yourself, from this time to this time, I'm all in my work. But from this time to this time, I'm focusing on my family, I'm focusing on my loved ones, I'm focusing on that thing that makes me happy. When we're able to be disciplined with ourselves in terms of taking care of ourselves. Now, granted, a lot of people are disciplined when it comes to work because they're like, got to wake up this time, do this workout, do this, go to work, do this business thing. How about being disciplined with taking care of yourself? I was speaking to a friend of mine. She's a former TEDx speaker and her name's Priska. And I was speaking to her, asking her, how do you take care of yourself? How do you manage your workload? Because she runs an agency, a media agency, and so many other things. And I just wanted to get an insight because I found myself always running empty. And she said something that she said she also found out from someone. She said that every 6 weeks she takes a break, or she goes somewhere, or she just does something away from work. Every 6 weeks. Now that's a month and a half. But for so many of us, it takes us a long way. We wait till we burn out. And then we're like, oh, wow, I need a break. Why do you have to wait till you're burnt out before you take a break? Because a lot of times when you wait till you're burnt out, you take that break and the break ends up being longer because you're really burnt out and you need more time to regenerate. But if you make it a consistent thing where, okay, even if it could be 6 weeks for you, it could be 8 weeks for you, where you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to do this and take care of myself. It doesn't even have to be that long. I have a friend that has a monthly subscription for cinemas, and he takes himself on cinema. Like, I know it's common where people are like, yeah, why don't you go to cinema yourself? But I'm telling you that he takes out time to take himself to the cinema. And I know it sounds, people do that, but I'm telling you, in a world where it's almost like when you're going to cinema, it's either you're going with your group of friends or you're going with your date or something like that. Guys, it's okay to go cinema on your own. Like, for real, it's okay to go there, watch Fast and Furious on your own, whatever tickles your fancy. Fast and Furious, what's the latest one? Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, or whatever it is. Take yourself on a date. Like, there was a time I went to a restaurant and I just sat there myself, eating by myself, because I really liked the restaurant. And I said, well, I'm not going to wait till I have a date to take myself to this restaurant or to go eat at this place. Let me go right now and go eat at this place. And I tapped myself on the back. And I didn't need to post pictures or anything like that, hashtag self-love or anything like that. Self-love could be behind the closed doors where no one knows you're applying self-love to yourself. I'm saying this because the more we do this, the more we're able to enter relationships full. The more we're able to enter relationships complete and understand that I love myself. How many guys can truly say, I love myself? Not because of the materialistic things they get for themselves, but because they understand themselves. They take time out to take care of themselves. Because if you learn how to take care of yourself and make it a habit of taking care of yourself, you're able to continue to do so long after you have different commitments that rise up. So that it's not when you get into a relationship, you feel that the relationship is taking all of you, and you don't know how to take care of yourself, and you then become frustrated with your partner, you've become frustrated with your kids because you feel like, wow, I don't even get any time for myself. But if you have a disciplined way of taking care of yourself, you're able to balance it. It is possible. Granted, I'm not a father yet, and many of the fathers listening to this may say, well, you don't understand when you have to wake up 4 a.m. to change the nappies, when you have to do this, take them to school and all of those things. But if you have those little things that are sacred for you, how you intentionally take care of yourself, if you're able to be disciplined enough to do all those commitments for your kids, and you also have these commitments for yourself, then you'll be able to sustain all that you're doing. I say this over and over again. Guys, please don't burn yourself out. I know I have a tendency myself, I'm speaking to you right now in transparency. I have a tendency of feeling like I have so many things to do. Some days I have 100 things to do on my to-do list. I only do 3 and I'm frustrated and I'm like, why, Chinadu, why did you do this? Why did you do this? But from time to time, you need to ask yourself, okay, what are the things that get me frustrated? How do I manage stress? How do I deal with pressure? How do I deal with relaxation? What are these things? Because as much as you want to understand your field of work, same way you research market analysis and do all these things, trying to understand whatever field you're going to, the job you want to go to, the benefits. Imagine if you took enough time to study yourself as well. You'd be surprised that someone saying a particular word really gets on your nerves and you just never noticed. You'd be surprised that you'd be surprised when you find out that this particular setting that you're in is actually what gets you frustrated. Not the job, but this setting or these group of people or these conversations is what gets you triggered. That way you're able to, okay, wow, so this is what frustrates me. This is what gets me agitated. Now you can stray away from that. If you can't stray away from it intentionally, take yourself out of the equation completely and find something else that makes sure that you don't encounter that. See, this is the conversations we don't have enough of. And I was thinking to myself yesterday when I woke up, and I was just thinking to myself, there are so many retreats and so many events for females, female empowerment, and that's amazing. However, guys, how often do we get together to actually have events that seek to empower us? Not just financial development events, not just, oh, come and build your wealth, come and learn wealth management skills. Bro, there's so many books in that. I know that it's wonderful to get together, but listen, why don't we get together to talk about how we're truly feeling? Let's get together to talk about how we're handling relationship. Guys, let's get together to talk about how we're dealing with healing from childhood traumas. These are conversations that need to happen, because once we start becoming more whole and healed, all those other things will start to align. You won't be able to find yourself in toxic relationships because now you understand yourself. You understand what ticks for you. You understand what really you can't deal with, so you're able to step away from it. And let me tell you, my guy, it's okay to tell someone, listen, I'm feeling a bit under the weather. I'm feeling a bit tired. Let me take a step away. I can't commit to this. It's not this whole idea of, do it, keep going or die trying. Why do you want to die trying? Why can't you live and keep trying? Like this thing of this bravado of, keep going, yeah, go, bro. You could say go, go, go. And I know that will wake you up. You could actually say the same things in a different way. You could approach those wonderful goals you have by taking care of yourself, not trying to do it overnight. It's about longevity. Why do you want to burn yourself to the ground by the time you're 30 and then you ask yourself, wow, I wish I took it more easier on myself. I wish I took care of myself. Stress is one of the causes of cancer. And I don't mean to be so morbid, but a lot of these things are based on, a lot of these diseases that people have at an older age is based on the decisions they make at a younger age. You're always putting yourself in stressful situations. In your head, you're thinking, but because you believe that, stress molds you. When you go through stress, you become the best of yourself. But bro, you can still go through those things and not be stressed and still grow. You haven't achieved more because you were stressed more. No. You can achieve more and not be as stressed as the other person. And until we get that into our head, we are able to minimize the stress we put on ourselves. Minimize the pressure we put on ourselves to be perfect. You could be the best version of yourself without stressing yourself every single day. Even the brain gets tired of so much stress. There are people that, for example, just go on and on. They have a flu, they think, oh, the weather's cold. It's not the weather, my guy. It's not the weather, it's you stressed. Your body's telling you, calm down, take it easy on me. Your brain is telling you, we need to rest. But a lot of us don't take time to really address these things because in our mind, there's no time for rest. And people even come and say silly, ridiculous things like, I'll rest when I'm dead. What nonsense is that? You rest when you're dead. So the only rest you want is rest in peace. Why can't you rest whilst you're living? Why can't you rest in work? Why can't you rest in success? Rest in peace is not the only type of rest, You can rest in work. You can rest in success. You can rest in family. You can rest in expectations. Rest in time. Rest now. I say this because so many guys are working themselves to the ground, not able to truly love themselves, not able to truly take care of themselves. Why do you always have to put so much pressure on yourself? Oh, because you've heard of the analogy of the diamond where only when a lot of pressure is applied would you be able to mold it and what? Listen, you're not a diamond. You're a human being. Manage the level of pressure you take on. Manage that. Because when you're able to manage the pressure you take on, you understand, okay, this is too much. Let me take a sit back. But if you're always digging at yourself, you could really just become a rock that breaks to pieces and you're not able to mold yourself together. You look at rocks, broken rocks, you can't really glue them together. It takes a lot. I need you to take care of yourself. Love yourself enough to take that wonderful trip away on your own. Love yourself enough to go to that restaurant, whatever restaurant it is. The only time you don't have to wait till you have a date to go to the Shard. I'm being serious. You don't have to wait till you have a date or till you're in a relationship to go to Dubai on your own. It doesn't always have to be with a mandem, with the guys, the fellas. It could also be just you. It could also be just you taking that time away for yourself. You gotta learn to love yourself. And the more I'm saying it, the more I'm just thankful for God's blessing on my life that I've been able to afford certain things that allow me to just take myself out. This trip I booked it in a matter of 5 days because I was just feeling so much anxiety. I was feeling so much happening. There's still a lot of those things happening. I'm not blind to them. I've still got a lot of things I need to do. I've got a lot of circumstances around me. But I just decided, let me take myself away to Birmingham for 3 days. And trust me, this is the second day and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. By the time you watch this, I'll probably be back home, refreshed and revitalized, ready to take on the next step. please, ladies, encourage your the men in your life to do the same. Encourage your brothers to take care of themselves. Like, there's nothing wrong with you going to get a haircut without having a motive. You could go and decide, every single X day, every single 10th day or whatever, I'm going to go get a haircut just to look good for myself. And that's it for a guy. Just to look good for myself. Not because I'm going to an event or because I'm meeting with someone, just to look good for myself. You could take yourself to massage, go to an osteopath, whatever it is. Go to a massage, go to an osteopath, get those wonderful treatments for yourself. Take care of yourself. Because if you're able to take care of yourself, a lot of times, because people don't know how to love themselves, they don't know how to love others. Because people don't know how to take care of themselves, they don't really know how to take care of others. It's not always because you take care of others that you know how to take care of yourself. For a long time, I was so quick. I was so quick to help other people, accommodate other people. I always knew what people needed, but never really took time to take care of myself. And how many times do we do that? Now, it's great being able to take care of others, and that's amazing. It's a selfless act. But how about you taking care of yourself? I'm here to stress that even if you're a father and you've got kids, you could decide, I'm taking a holiday. Just make sure the plans are properly placed. Tell yourself, I'm taking a holiday. If you're married, you could decide with your wife, you both are just going for a date. You could go for a retreat or go for a time away for you both. Because it's all about, in life, it's longevity. What can you do to be able to be sustainable long term? That is the beauty of life. Life is not go to school, study, get a degree, get a job, get married, buy a house, or whatever order you want to have kids. There are things in between that allow you to be the best versions of yourself. For some of you, those desires and those dreams and those goals are dying because in your head, you haven't really spent enough time taking care of yourself. So you've been working yourself. You haven't even had time to refresh. You haven't even had time to just reflect. And you keep on doing the same routine with the idea that, okay, when I hit this goal, then I'll rest. Come on. How many times have we heard in interviews of these successful people, these brilliant people, or whatever you want to quote them as, these amazing people that say they wish they took care of themselves more? A lot of these unfortunate diseases that cripples people, I've said it before, a lot of these things come from the fact that people don't take care of themselves. Stress, pressure, all anxiety, all of these things. If you love yourself enough, please take care of yourself. Your life depends on it. Your loved ones depend on you being the best version of yourself. Your loved ones depend on you taking care of yourself. Your goals depend on you taking care of yourself. I really want us guys to learn and understand that it's okay to express love to yourself. You don't need to be in a relationship before you experience what love is. I say that again. You don't need to be in a relationship before you experience what love is. Love yourself enough to take care of yourself. For you to love, you also need to learn how to love yourself. You can't give what you don't have. I know that sounds so cliche, but you can't give what you don't have. Please, if it's taking that alone time, go to the cinema on your own, buy popcorn, buy hot dogs, buy the whole things on the menu. Hot dogs, popcorn, drinks, nachos, whatever it is, all of that. Just, keep it around you. Even get a tray, take it to the cinema, just keep it around you and enjoy that movie for yourself. Not on a date, just go for yourself, enjoy it. If you want to go to that restaurant, go to that restaurant. Even if people are asking, are you with someone, are you expecting? No, I'm not expecting anyone. It's for me. And I'm going to sit here and enjoy my meal. Do you know what? The tab's on me. Put the tab on me. Let me just enjoy. You may be laughing, but I'm saying this. It's so important. And mothers, fathers, please encourage your kids to do the same. Those boys need to learn how to love themselves. And one of the things I love about many of these things I'm saying is because I'm living proof of it. Because when I start to take care of myself, I realize I start to operate in the best version of myself. I just want to end with this note. it's okay to show yourself love. And showing yourself love becomes a thing until showing yourself love becomes a thing of practice, discipline, a habit. It'll be very hard to maintain that when you're committed to relationships. Love yourself. Treat yourself. You deserve that treat. You deserve that holiday. You deserve that pat on the back. You deserve a wonderful life. And with that, I love you all. My brothers, we're going to do something together. Soon enough, I want to hold an event where we can just get together and talk as guys. Deal with a lot of the issues that we're facing. Until then, thank you all for being supportive. I know we have a lot of female listeners as well. Thank you for listening. Please share this with someone that you know needs it. And even people that you don't think need it, share it to the guys in your lives. Because they just need to learn how to love themselves enough. Make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're really trying to grow the numbers on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Journey to Fatherhood. Follow us on Instagram at Journey to Fatherhood. And on TikTok, we now have a TikTok account, J2 Fatherhood. That's at J2 Fatherhood on TikTok. And the same on Twitter at J2 Fatherhood. Let's keep moving. Have an amazing day. Take care of yourself. Bye.